Hi, Catalina here. Sorry for the bare shelves in the background. We're moving some office space here, but I wanted to film a quick video today in regards to, there's not much student loan news out there, so I'm going to discuss what's out there, but I'm also going to discuss a frequently asked question of like, when are student loans discharged? Can they be written off or discharged? And when does that occur? You know, we get that question from people who are on the loan forgiveness path. So I want to address that along with some news so we can make this as educational as possible. So first and foremost, if you think anyone can benefit from this content, please share it or like it and comment, and I try to answer as many questions as possible. Okay, so first, what's out in the student loan world today? Biden has come out with several statements across many news outlets that he will be announcing some level of forgiveness soon. He announced this around the same time that he announced like a federal tax holiday for gas, which is around 18 cents a gallon. And it's a way to give average Americans a break from the high tax prices. So he is doing it through not charging the federal tax, or lower the gas prices by at least 18 cents. And some states will be eliminating the state taxes as well. So it will decrease the per gallon charge at the gas station. This sounds in theory great, except those taxes go to fund our roads. So, and we have so much deteriorating infrastructure that I'm not quite sure how long the tax holiday can last for. And if we pump a lot at the tank, will we run out of gas? Who knows? I don't know about all these macroeconomic things as it pertains to gas, but I do want to come out with that news, even though it's not directly related to student loan news. It is related to questions of, we're in a high inflationary period right now, and there's a lot of debate around, will forgiving student loans yield to greater levels of inflation? There's people that say yes, people that say no. So yeah, there's questions about that. And of course the tax is related. I'm sorry, the gas is related, because the reason the administration and Biden want to give some type of federal tax holiday on the gas is because inflation is so high and people are really suffering with the increased price of gas and food. So anyways, it is somewhat related. They're all topics that are either questions of, does it affect inflation, or will providing forgiveness also continue to affect inflation, right? And so the things the government are doing to alleviate the pressure, will having a policy that forgives $10,000 also fuel inflation? So those are some of the questions that are being brought up, and that's how student loans and gas relate, right? Although I know that if people get their student loans forgiven, or we don't get kickback into repayment, they'll have a little bit more money. Or when we do get kickback into repayment and it's a lower debt burden, then it'll be easier to pay for gas, right? So that's another way it relates. But anyways, the news came out concurrently, so I thought I'd address it. Now let me go into an educational topic that addresses the question of like, when will my student loans be written off, or when will it be discharged if I am on the forgiveness pathway, whether that's public service loan forgiveness or an IDR pathway. So that question comes about because when you enroll into an income-driven repayment plan, people ask, is my student loan discharged year over year? And the answer is no. Your student loan is not discharged year over year, and it's not written off year over year. Your student loan is discharged at the end of your entire repayback period. If you're a public servant, it's 120 payments, then it's 120 payments. If you are going for regular income-driven repayment on like pay as you earn, then it's after 240 payments. So year over year, your student loan is not discharged, or it's not written off. That's a term some people use, written off or discharge. So it's at the very, very, very end of your repayback period. And the reason is because if, let's say, you get a really big job salary hike and your payment goes up, well, then when it goes up, it could potentially make up for the amount you didn't pay in previous year. So that's why they don't write it off year over year. So I wanted to address that. If we get this $10,000 of relief, then technically if you qualify for that and you get that, then it will be discharged or written off at the moment it's forgiven. Maybe not immediately, it might take the government some months, but the whole point is being written off or discharged is the point at which it will no longer be on your credit report. It will no longer show that you are the responsible party to pay that debt. Being written off or discharged means it is now being turned over to someone else's balance sheet, not your personal one. That could be the federal government's balance sheet, that could be the Department of Ed's balance sheet, but it's no longer on your balance sheet. That is when it is written off or discharged for you. It is written off on somebody and it is being transferred to someone else's balance sheet because the money has to come from somewhere, right? So most likely the government or the Department of Ed. Another benefit is since Biden has eliminated taxes, the tax bomb on student loan forgiveness, at least until 2025, we'll probably get it extended. That means that when it's written off or discharged, it will also be written off from a tax liability that, I mean, if you're a public servant, you wouldn't have had a tax liability anyways, but if you're not, then the $10,000 of relief, by the way, hopefully when they pass this law, will also be tax deductible or we will not be taxed on this $10,000 of relief, which means that it will also be written off from a tax perspective. If we have to pay taxes on it, then we may owe some taxes, in which case that will not be discharged from the tax obligation. You understand that, right? It's kind of like when you use an airline voucher or use a gift certificate for something. You'll pay for the product with the gift certificate and they'll say, you still owe blank amount in taxes and fees, even though 100% of it was paid technically by the voucher or the gift certificate. It's the same concept. If the government does not waive the taxes, then we're responsible for the taxes. If the government waives the taxes, then it is written off or discharged along with the balance of the student loans. Just so people can understand that topic a little. If you think anyone could be served by this information, or they've gotten other forms of relief like disability discharge, or they were a victim of a for-profit college that went defunct and are eligible for write-off through these programs, of course, you don't automatically qualify for all of the programs. Some of them require an extensive paperwork process. So you know anyone in that boat who may need assistance or who may need somebody to ask questions or talk to, you can always share this video, but also have them reach out to us at myloansense.com. We did recently discount the prices to our service on our website ahead of being kicked back into repayment to help out as many borrowers as possible. myloansense.com. Either way, everybody gets a completely free plan. Share this information, like, subscribe, get the word out there. We want to help as many borrowers as possible. Have a great day. One other final thing, actually, my tiny house arrives this Thursday. So the next video I make will likely be about the tiny house, have some information about my tiny house. So just putting it out there, you all take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of the week.